Hello everybody and welcome to Guangzhou Auto Show 2024. This is the final big show of the year, and for me it's kind of returning back to where this all started, because this video back in 2023 was the one that really kick-started this channel and helped it to reach more people like you at home. Now, as ever, what we're going to do is our usual full walkthrough of the show. We've got a limited amount of time. We've got 14 halls to get through in order to view all the cars at the show. So I'm literally just going to get started, and we'll start here at yipai. So here we are at the Dongfeng stand, and it seems like in this store at least they've only brought their Nammi EV, which is a pretty cute small car. This one is definitely coming to Europe. Looks fairly similar to the Geely Xingyuan. See, it's a good 5-door model with a good amount of space in the back, and while there's no one really looking at it apart from inside, I'll quickly show you the boot in there. Decent sized boot. The only downside is we've got these lights that intrude on the entry space quite a bit, but they have brought us a concept for a potential cross version of this car. This is the Nammi Cross. As you can see, it's got chunky wheels, chunky arches, there's chunky tyres around there. So whether they're actually going to bring that thing out, little I don't know, it's a little bit like a Suzuki Ignis rival, I guess. Whether they're going to bring that out or not, I'm not sure. But that is Nammi. That's our first brand of the day. And what I'll do, same as last time, I'll put a counter in the top corner of the video so that you can see what the brands are that are being sold here in China. Now what I'm going to do is head over to this car here. This is the yipai 007. We've now got two 007s in China. So basically all these brands, by the way, on this particular stand here, they're all run by Dongfeng Motor, who have actually a lot of brands in China. This is the yipai. Whether this is going to go abroad or not, not sure. But as you can see, it looks like a bit like an Xpeng P7, actually, the original, in terms of the overall shape and style. That was their first car for this new yipai brand, which is kind of I would call it a techie, fairly high-end brand for Dongfeng. Not necessarily the same as Voyah, but only EVs here, I believe. We've also got this, which is the yipai 008, and I'd like to show you inside one of these if I can. I'll go through the back. Let's go this way. So I want to show you this. Inside we have 3 rows. So as you can see, it's a 3-row SUV, and those seats in the middle row, they get 2 armrests. You've also got a fridge down there, which this fella's playing with, and a large screen in the front, and a large screen up here in the back, and twin sunroofs or twin panoramic windows in there as well. Now you can take a guess at how much this SUV costs. It's probably about 4.9 to 5 meters in size, maybe a little bit longer. This starts, and I discovered this today, by the way, nice light up grille there. If they bring that abroad, that probably won't happen, but that car starts at 206,000 RMB, which is about £23,000 for a 6-seater, and really nice proportions on that, by the way. A 6-seater SUV. Can you believe that? And that is they have an extended range version of this and a full electric version, which does about 610 kilometers of range. So that is super impressive. Now another Dongfeng brand is this one. This is aeolus. Aeolus being the Greek god of wind. They've brought themselves a chunky car here today. You see, this one's quite cool. A bit like a Chang'an Uni. You've got suede on the dashboard, fake carbon there, suede on your steering wheel as well. You can play video games in this one on your screen. You've got a Bluetooth controller there. Really quite a nifty looking car, this one. Aeolus, not the biggest selling brand in China, but nevertheless quite a good looking, I'd say that's probably like a GLC rival, something like that, sorry. So that's your brands from Dongfeng. I think we've not got Venutia. So actually Venutia is another Dongfeng brand. They're not here today. One of several brands actually that are not at the Guangzhou Auto Show this year, including Genesis. So they've spent a lot of money in China, not got anywhere, and they've left. Then over here, I'll come on to those in a minute again. This is the jiyue stand. Jiyue, of course, have the 01, which you know about. At the back over here, they have the 07. They just launched the Passion Edition of the 07. This is a very, very sexy sedan or saloon. don't know when I started saying sedan. But there you go, that is a good looking car, isn't it? That is really nice. But they've also shown off a concept at the motor show today. And designer Frank Wu has presented this to us. And this is the Robo X Vision. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So it's a two-seater hypercar, electric hypercar. Slide around the back here. Check out the front. It's got all of Jiyue's design language on there. Scissor doors. Lots of aero features, lots of aero at the front, all over the body of the car. Now, the interesting thing about this is, it is an AI-powered car in several ways. So it's AI in that you can talk to Sumo, who's like the AI assistant inside the car. But also because Jiyue is a joint venture between Geely and Baidu, who have their autonomous Apollo Go taxis around the country in China. This car also has that technology, so it can drive automatically by itself on any road in China and potentially even have races against other cars in the future. The vision for this is that owners will be able to buy it, take it to a racetrack, set themselves a fastest lap time, and then test the system to see if the system can beat their lap time. It's a super cool car. See if I can take you around the back, show you a little bit about the diffuser at the back here. Check out this. Check out the diffuser and the spoiler there. That's really nice. Now, this car has 4 motors, by the way, as well. They didn't tell us how much power, but it's about 1,900 kilograms, I would guess. Carbon fiber chassis and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.9 seconds. So that's going to be a really interesting car. You can put a deposit down on it today. It's not just a concept car. Jiyue don't do concept cars that they're not going to make. So you can put a deposit down on one, 50,000 RMB, and you might get it in 2 or 3 years' time. Now, Smart, of course, they launched the hashtag 5, large SUV, their biggest car yet in China. Actually, they launched it in Australia, believe it or not, but they did show it in concept form in Beijing earlier this year. Oh, sorry, there's someone in the back of this one. I'll try and find us an empty version of this that I can go and have a look at. They also got the hashtag 3, hashtag 1 as well. Feels a bit weird saying hashtag about a car. I like the idea of a skidoo though, that'll do me. Let's just dive into the back of the hashtag 5 there. So you see it is a 5-seater. Nice funky headrests here, they're very cool. Got your light up ambient lighting over there. And this car actually comes with a speaker, I believe. A removable speaker that goes just down there by that guy's legs. He's busy playing a video game, so you can actually see this fella here playing a video game on that screen quite far away. I think it'd probably sat in the passenger seat. But there you go, that's the Smart hashtag 5. We're going to try and get hold of one of those and review that as and when we get an opportunity. What do I think about Smart becoming a big car brand? Not sure. Not sure. I think I would rather they made something small, but if it helps them to make something small, I'm all for it. Now, Zeekr, I'll just quickly drive you through Zeekr because they haven't launched anything new here. This is the 001 FR, 1,280 horsepower, 1,300 horsepower, something like that. This is the 009 MPV, electric MPV, about 570 kilowatts of power. It's about 700 plus horsepower for an MPV. It's nuts, and we love it. It's a beautiful car. We've also got, of course, the standard 001. We've got the Zeekr 7X. You can find a link to that in the description below this video. This is a very cool car. Going abroad as well. So you're going to get the Z7X in countries like Australia, probably the UK as well. There's the 007, the other 007 in China. That's the 7X's little brother. That one might go abroad. They are going to launch a wagon version of this in China probably next year. So that's something else to look forward to. And we've also, of course, got the Zeekr X over at the back here, which is now starts from just 135,000 RMB in China, which is absolutely outrageous. And of course, we have the wonderful Zeekr Mix, the car that I am desperately hoping to stick a deposit down on. Check out the interior on this. You've got this sliding unit in the middle, got the seats that can turn around on both sides at the front. You've got a bench that splits 60-40, that can move forward and backwards by 49 centimeters. You can put a table in here, you can have a fridge down there, you can have cup holders that plug into the end. Loads of customization on this. Check out our video that shows you all about the Zeekr Mix. And by the way, I do love these wheels. Very, very cool. This is called the Baby Bus. Which is exactly why I want to bust my baby around in it, because it's a super cool car. Now we'll head over to IM. So how many brands are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chinese brands so far. And we haven't even left the first haul. This is number 6. This is the L6. This is looks like a melted candle, this car. But it's a pretty fast one. And it's got a pretty cool chassis as well that can do some special things. Let me show you the interior on this. Check out the screens on the dashboard there. And you've got a screen down there in the middle as well. Got loads of customization on this car. 800 volt platform, super fast charging. You can also get this with a semi-solid state battery at the same time. There you go. Actually looks quite good in that blue. I'm going to say I like it in blue. Now they've also got an updated LS6, and they're not going to do a demonstration for us just now, but this one has rear wheel steering and I believe triple motors or double motors. So basically you can spin the car around on the front wheel. So you can lock the front wheel or the other wheel, spin the car around on the spot like a Denza Z9. I wouldn't do it because it'll shred your tyres. I've seen it happen on the Denza. So there you go. But they don't got autonomous driving ability in there as well. I'll see if I can find you one to have a closer look at the inside of. Let me head over here to the cream one at the back. So this has been updated. It's basically like a brand new model somehow for China. What I really like are these kind of quilted seats. Look at these. These are lovely. Look very big, very cushy. Get yourself a pair of wireless chargers down there. Again, the same screens in the middle. You've also got your yoke steering wheel as well. It's like yourself a nice speaker system in there. Bit of kind of fake wood in the door with the herringbone design. And this front seat, by the way, you can lie almost pretty much flat. It's basically a zero gravity front seat, so that's really cool. And then of course they also have the L7, of which they've only got one here today, I think, which is dressed up as a robo-taxi. So there you go. This one says that it can do level 4 robo-taxi work. So we've got a LiDAR up there on the roof, and we've got 2 LiDARs pointing sideways on the front, and then I guess we've got another one facing directly forwards around here. There we go. So we reviewed this car on the channel a long time ago. That's actually our first car on the channel. You can see that again in the description below. So that is IM. I'm not going to cover Bilibili. This is a video platform in China. I will be opening my Bilibili channel, so if you are a Chinese subscriber and you'd like to see me on Bilibili, let me know in the comments below. I just need to put my videos with subtitles on there. Right, let's head to the next haul. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to put some statistics about the cars in the description of the video rather than on the video this time. Helps me get the video out faster, and also helps me to update it and make sure it's accurate as and when the information comes in. Now, this is an interesting one. We've talked a lot about the German car brands struggling in China, the premium brands kind of losing their way a little bit. Well, they're fighting back. Check out this. This is, I'll zoom in with the zoom in button there. This is the Audi E-Concept. We've written an article about this on our website, www.insidechinaauto.com. And as you can see, sorry, I'll just slide around the back here so you can see the angle of this car. So this is not Audi as you know Audi. Sorry, camera's up in the air. As you can see, shooting brake design there at the back. I'll try and put some pictures of this car over the video so you can see what it looks like if you haven't heard about this car already. But basically, IM, the brand that we were in the last stand a moment ago, they've donated their chassis to this car and their technology. So this car basically brings together Audi's technological expertise in making cars, plus SAIC or IM's intelligent driving, intelligent chassis, digital, fully electronic chassis, thing like that. So this is a different brand. It's not Audi. That's Audi over there with the small letters. This is Audi with all capital letters. So the 4 rings, and I'll show you that if you didn't notice that, we'll check that again. The 4 rings that you normally see on the front of an Audi, they're not there. Look, no 4 rings on there. They've gone back to an old logo from a long time ago, apparently. And I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. I think if I'm happy to see foreign brands fighting back in China, because it's easy to just give up and accept that, you know, you can't keep up with the market because things are super fast in China. But what they've done is collaborated with a Chinese brand in order to, you know, stay alive, stay afloat and fight back. So great, let's have more German brands doing the same thing. And I suppose technically you could call that a Chinese brand, even though it might be officially German. I'm not sure what the ownership structure is on that. Now we are on Lynk Co. This is another Chinese brand. Big story with these yesterday is that they are now 51% owned by Zeekr and 49% owned by Geely Auto. So they were previously 30% owned by Volvo. Now this is their next car. You saw the Zeekr X earlier. This is the Lynk Co Z20. This car is going to Europe. Finally, Lynk Co are actually going to give us something new in Europe. Let me see if I can get you to the back, because it seems like the interior is quite busy. But this is interesting. Check out the spoiler on the back here that drops off. Has a bit of a chin underneath. That's the back of your Z20 there. If I can cast a camera into that dashboard just for a second there, show you what's inside there. That's the interior of the Z20. Took advantage of that guy hovering for a moment. And of course that is the Z10 over there. This sexy looking beast over here. This is a stunning looking car. Just over 5 meters long. I believe it should be at least 400 kilowatts on this one. It's on the SEA platform, as are all the Zeekrs and the Geely Galaxy E8 as well, and all of the jiyues as well, apart from the Rovo X. So yeah, Lynk Co, they're going places. And what's going to happen now is this brand is going to be more distinguished from Zeekr. So currently that car overlaps with the Zeekr X quite considerably. What they're going to do is make sure that Zeekr goes above a certain price point and Lynk Co goes below that price point to make sure that there's, you know, less crossover, less butchering of each other's brands. Now here's a brand that is in trouble, but they're still here at least. This is Neta. They don't have any new cars here today, but what I can at least show you today is a closer look at the hunting edition of the Neta S, which we didn't really get a chance to look at previously. This is a beautiful car, and now that it's a wagon, or an estate I should say, it actually looks even better. These are very cool cars. This one, by the way, is the first car to sit on CATL's skateboard chassis. You get a screen over there on the other side of the dashboard. Not sure this car's got it fitted, but you can. You've got a vertical screen in the middle there, Tesla style, another one here, and a heads-up display. Lovely bits of Alcantara all over the place, and decent amount of space in the back there as well. But as I said, this brand may not be around for much longer. They've got a factory in Thailand. A bunch of people have left from Mexico, been kicked out. They're in financial hardships. The market has crunched down into a very small price point, and Neta are feeling the pinch. So take a look at them. Hopefully it's not the last time we see them at an auto show, but we shall see. Now we've got CATL here. I don't think they've launched anything particularly new for this show. This might be this is the Qilin battery. So this battery here is in the Zeekr 009. It's also in the jiyue 07 as well, I believe. And they've now got a free Voyah battery, which I can see over here. This is the free Voyah super hybrid battery. This one will go in hybrid cars. This one's actually got some sodium in it as well, so starting to use less of those rare metals, as they call them, even though they're not quite as rare as they're made out to be. And if you want to see how many, this is obviously the biggest battery maker in the world for cars. If you want to see all the cars that their batteries are in, they've got a nice wall here at the back where you can see the very, very many brands and cars they're working with. You can see Mengshi, Shenlan, Xiaomi, Aito, Avatar, Zeekr. What's that one there? I can't see that one. That looks like an Exceed, Honda CR-V, Neo ET5. So yeah, a lot of cars that their batteries are in. And they basically control about 60% of the global battery market. Now this is Leapmotor. These guys have had quite a rejuvenation in the last 4 or so months. They've really started to sell cars, and of course they're now going abroad. We've reviewed the C10, which is over there, and we need to review the C16 very soon, which is over here. This is their new compact SUV coming to Europe, launched at the Paris Motor Show earlier this year. Sorry, I'll point the camera in the right place. So this one looks quite neat actually, I mean, they're not the most stimulating in terms of their overall design. This is a Van Gogh Starry Night version, I think. It might actually be something else. But yeah, as you can see, the front end is a bit more dynamic actually than the standard Leapmotors, a bit more chiseled, a bit more of a chin on it. And that one should do really well abroad, I think. The B10 is going to do well, and I believe it will be available as an EV abroad. Could possibly be available as an E-Rev as well. They've also got the T03. This is now in several countries in Europe, and I believe coming to Australia very soon, if not already. That's the T03. That was one of their first cars, and it's still around. It's still quite popular. Now Neo, as in Beijing, they do not have a new car here, and they haven't had one for a while. Actually, I think they did in Beijing. They didn't in Chengdu. So yeah, no new cars for Neo at the moment. They're busy trying to sell their current range of cars. 16,000 and something in the month of October 2024. They had a little bit of an impact from Onvo, which is their new brand that they launched earlier this year. We'll get to their stand in just a moment. Alrighty, into our third haul, and it would appear that my mic wasn't connected properly for the first two hauls, so apologise if the audio is really bad on that. I guess I'll find out later. That's quite annoying, but there you go. Anyway, so we're now onto the JAC stand, another Chinese brand, of course. This is a concept car they have called Define. They've also got pickup trucks too that they like to sell abroad. This is an EV version, I believe. This one is, if not already in Australia, going to Australia fairly soon. They've also got the Jack E-Way 3, which is this funky little thing. This one is supposed to come with a sodium battery. I'll just zoom you through the window because there's a guy recording himself inside. Got the RF8, this is the Refine 8 plug-in hybrid. So yet another green plate car. And then they've got some standard cars, like the X8 here. Slide between that fence. Now the X8 there with the biggest, ugliest face on it of any car you've ever seen. Plus the QX plug-in hybrid over here as well. So not too much to say about Jack or JAC. Then we've got Polestone's roxmotors. This is the 01, referred to by some as the Defender killer. You'll see it actually looks fairly similar to a Defender, especially at the back, where it's got kind of a chopped off look. It's got a hint of Defender in the back of it there. They've launched a few different editions of this at the show, and they're going abroad to other places. They've got a LiDAR unit here, a LiDAR unit up there, and another one around the other side. So 3 LiDAR units on this car. Pretty impressive, this one actually. We haven't driven it yet, but apparently it can check things like if you go off-road and there are fallen branches and trees and stuff like that, it can actually tell you whether your car can fit through the gap underneath the tree. It can also tell you how deep the water that you're in is as well. So it can wade up to, I believe, 600 millimeters. Now this is the Falcon edition, which is going to places like the United Arab Emirates. So you can see we've got some kind of Arabic relations there with a fake falcon up there in the dude's hand. And they've also launched a fishing edition here as well. The fishing edition basically is this box here in the back of the car. This box has got all kind of fishing gear in it. You've also got your little camping tray on the back there. It's also got water in it as well. They're busy doing a live stream there, which they do all the time at media days, and it very much annoys me. Now, Li Auto, we've got the L9, L6, L8, and L7, and of course the Mega. And they haven't really brought anything new to this show. They didn't bring anything to the last one either. Sales of this thing, this very funky MPV that we reviewed earlier in the year, haven't done quite as well as they expected, which has made them delay their SUV electric cars. So meanwhile, they're now up to something like 54,000 sales per month in China with their SUVs, and you know how much we love those. You'll see those in our other videos again. I'll put links to the ones that we've driven at the bottom, at the bottom of the description, but I won't really show you too much about those. They're the best cars that you've maybe never heard of if you're in a country that isn't China. I would say certainly some of the best cars. Li Van, This is one of Geely's budget brands, budget electric brands. Give you a quick look inside a Levan. See, even in this car, which is very affordable, probably under 100,000 RMB, you get a big screen in the middle, and it's not a wireless charger. I thought it was a wireless charger, but it's not. But I mean, check out the space. Great space in the back of this one. This is the RL7, I believe, Raylan 7. This is the Raylan 9. Sorry, we've got a live stream camera going on here. Again, not sure why this stuff goes on media days. This is an MPV, the Levan Raylan 9. This is the Raylan 8, which is basically a rebadged Geely Jiaji, which comes with an electric drivetrain. So the back end looks very familiar to people who've seen the Geely Jiaji. Front end looks a bit more rounded now. But that's Levan. No one really knows exactly how many sales that they have. Can't really tell you. Now we've also got Voyah. Voyah is another brand from Dongfeng. This is their premium brand. And this is their very fancy MPV with a very chintzy grille on it. This is the Voyah Dreamer. This has been updated for this year. It's now got, as you can see at the top of the screen there, Huawei ADS 3.0 autonomous technology, so it can drive by itself around cities and things like that. This guy's filming inside, so I can't really show you the interior. Oh, interesting, they do seem to have changed the dashboard on these. Let me have a look at this. They've changed the dashboard, look. This did have 3 screens all across here that raised up. Now they've gone for a small screen, a head-up display, and 2 large 15.4-inch screens in the middle, plus twin wireless chargers down in the middle as well. So they have actually changed this inside. Bear in mind they've also got a big screen up there in the roof as well. You've got captain seats in the back there. You've got little screens on your armrest here, so you can do different functions on there, move your seat and so on. You've got a fridge down here, which you didn't get in the original. And you've also got 3 more seats in the back there as well. They've also got, of course, the Zhuiguang there, the Voyah Free extended range hybrid with 318 kilometers of EV only range. And if I cruise over to the other side, these guys have finally kind of broken the 10,000 a month sales barrier in China consistently for a couple of months, thanks to this one, the Jiyue, otherwise known as Freedom. This one's a bit smaller, a bit more affordable, fully electric. I believe you might be able to get a hybrid version of this as well. This one looks like it's got a screen that maybe slides from side to side. Let me check that. Ah, there we go. See, you can slide the screen from one side to the other. Just like on the Zeekr X. Very cool. And yeah, this one looks like it might be an electric version, given that it doesn't really have particularly aggressive grille down there on the front. So that is Voyah. Let's now head to the Huawei Intelligent Mobility Alliance. And we've got a few brands here. Whether we can get in to see the Maestro, which is their 4th brand that launched today, I'm not sure. This is the Stellato S9. Let me get over the fence so you can see it. So that is a big, luxurious saloon. They seem to be keeping people away from these cars for some reason. This is their SUV, the M9. I'll find a better picture of that somewhere. But there's the Stellato. Let me just dive in behind this fella. Very luxurious cabin in there, a lot of screens. Super luxurious in the back. It's really very much like a Mercedes E-Class, maybe even an S-Class in the back. Actually, check this out. This is cool. The M9 has got these rearward-facing seats. So it's actually a 3-row SUV. You can also see, by the way, projector in there as well. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry. UK. Sorry, I just dived into somebody's video there by accident without seeing the camera guy. Just apologise to him. So yeah, this is the M9. You can look at all the live streamers, by the way. Look at this. Live streamers everywhere trying to sell these cars. And AION are trying to catch up to Li Auto because these are extended range electric cars as well. Yeah, this one doesn't come with the fold-down rear seats. This one comes with standard 3rd row. This is the M7, which is in the top 10 best-selling electrified cars in the world, would you believe? Isn't that incredible? So they're doing really well with the M7. There's a Stellato S9. Again, they're not letting us see inside the back, which is a little bit annoying. Now the Maestro is in there, but we don't get to see it. So I'll see if I can find some footage online and put that over the top. I didn't get time to get in there earlier and get some footage. That's going to be a super luxurious brand, very much like the Maybach of AITO. So, of the Huawei Intelligent Mobility Alliance. So they clearly are keeping that one to a very custom crowd, let's say. This is the R7. You've seen this one at the Beijing Auto Show, if you saw that one. The S7 has been launched, I think, for a third time now. And I gotta say, this is a stunning looking car. It's absolutely wonderful. The interior there, you've got a little bit of storage behind the screen, big screen in the middle. And it's just such a good looking car, this one. It looks very, very sexy. Look at that, especially in red with those big black alloys. So let's see if it will actually sell well at the third time of asking. Right now though, you've got the R7, which is badged as a Luxeed. Yeah, that's right, yeah, it is a Luxeed. Now I want to see if I can find the one where you knock on the front of the car. I'm gonna go for it. Let's see if this works. There we go. Let's look at that. Knock on the bonnet of the car, and the bonnet opens. You want to see that again? Watch. There you go. Bonnet pops up with a knock on it. That's really quite smart. But don't do that to somebody when they're waiting at traffic lights. That's the R7. Pretty cool looking car. Let's now head to the next stall. Alrighty, so the fourth hall, and I've queued up a little bit for 5 minutes, maybe 2 actually, to get into this stand. Now, Xiaomi stand's normally absolutely full of cars. They've got, I think, 3 or 4 examples at the moment, but they've got some really major cars going on, and they are over here. This is the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. This is an absolutely ballistic car. It's got little carbon fiber bits all over it. It's not the Ultra prototype, which is this one over here. This is the one that set a new kind of Nürburgring lap record of 6 minutes 36 for a 4-door sedan. Bear in mind, it is very much not the same car as this. This is something completely different. It's got pretty much almost 2,000 horsepower. And so a lot of kilowatts. I think it's like 1,500 kilowatts. Absolutely enormous brake discs in there. I think they had to do something to make the brake discs fit in because they were too big to fit inside the car. A lot of carbon fiber elements. You can see the wing mirrors have got carbon fiber, the steering wheel, the seat backs as well. So just to make the car a little bit lighter than it is normally. But this is going to be an absolutely insane car. A lot of people who can afford this, and I think it's something like 799,000 RMB or 899,000 RMB. A lot of people who are going to be able to afford this are not going to have the skills to drive it. There's going to be more accidents with this one. But it looks awesome. Everyone loves yellow on a super sexy car. A lot of yellow on the interior as well. But that is the Ultra, the super powerful version of the standard SU7, and this is the Ultra prototype. So it's got a lot of. So basically, what they're doing now is they're camping out at the Nürburgring. Not really camping, but you know what I mean. And Lei Jun, the boss of Xiaomi, really likes his racing. So he's really the only brand in China that is trying to make cars that are sporty, that handle really well, that have good steering feel, good suspension feel. He's the only one. Everyone else goes for cars that are comfortable for the family. This guy has got into racing later on in life, having a bit of a late life crisis, you might say. And yeah, he's come up with the SU7 Ultra, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to be done there. He's going to want more. So let's see where they end up in about 6 months' time, when they'll probably improve the car and go for another lap record. But you can see it is media day. Not everybody here is media, I'll be honest with you, which is a little bit annoying. To save time, I'll go around Onvo first. Onvo making their debut at a motor show. They weren't in Chengdu, they weren't in Beijing, but they are here in Guangzhou. This is their car, of course. This is their car, the L60. Onvo, of course, is NIO's sub-brand, so more affordable than NIO. But these are actually quite fantastic cars. Let me see if I can dive into one for you and have a look. We've got people sat in many of them. But I'm going to go for this blue one. This one looks empty. Let me show you what you get for an affordable NIO. You get a very big screen. I mean, that's not 15.4 inches. That's at least 16 inches up there. Very nice screen. You've got a wireless charger on the left side there. I think you've got a front seat down here with a leg rest, so this front seat probably goes into zero gravity mode. You get a head-up display, a lovely oval steering wheel, large panoramic roof, ambient lighting all around, absolutely cavernous legroom in the back. Look at that. This is so much bigger than a Tesla Model Y, and a screen down there as well, plus a load of speakers. And I think you can probably adjust your backrest angle as well. Yes, you can. There you go. I'm pressing the switch. It's that backrest just moving a little bit. It's a backrest angle adjustment as well. And you know what? For an SUV coupe, this is pretty neat. I really like the back end on this. I like these lights. They're very cool. So yeah, that's your Onvo L60. Their first real month of sales was last month, and they sold about 4,500. Seem to have eaten into Neo sales a little bit, but they've got a long road ahead, but they should do well. And then we've got Xpeng. These guys have been really busy since the last auto show. We've reviewed their latest cars. This is the P7 Plus. You'll find the link to our review of this in the description below. This one's got a really interesting sort of double chin there on the back. See that? This one is over 5 meters long. It's the second longest Xpeng after the X9 MPV. This is the third brand in China to go vision only, or vision first, let's say, at least on their ADAS system. They've gone for the blue lights as well to indicate they're in autonomous driving mode. This one has sold 31,000, or it got firm orders for 31,528 units within 4 hours of this car going on sale, which is nuts. So Xpeng really, with this and the Mona, which I'll show you somewhere else, have really kicked off big style. This of course is the G6, quite hard to see because it's so dark. That's launched in Australia recently, going to other markets as well. This is the X9 of course over here, which is the MPV. You see very luxurious rear seats in there, very nice. And we've got the G9. This is one of the best selling cars, one of the best selling electric SUVs in places like Norway and Sweden. So this one's doing very well indeed in other markets. And then you've got your Mona M03, which also sold about 30,000 units within hours of going on sale. This one is much more affordable. By the way, sorry, this one starts at 186,000 RMB. I'll put the currency translation at the bottom. A ridiculous price for a really very nice car. And this, of course, is the Mona M03, which starts even lower at something like 150,000, I think, something like that, which is insane. And of course, they're showing it off over here as well. Now, what you won't see on the stand today is their flying car. Why? Because it's outside. They've actually done their first or their second public flight. The owner of Xpeng Aero HT, which is the aero division, the flying car division of Xpeng, he took a flight today outside, and unfortunately I was busy so I couldn't get a video of that. But yeah, that was with their land aircraft carrier. I'll try and put some footage over the top so you can see what that looks like. Anyway, this is Mazda, and they've got quite a big stand actually this time, despite still only really showing off one car. This is the Mazda EZ6. There you go, that's the EZ6. And yeah, it's basically based on a Shenlan or Deepal SL03. Fully electric. You can also get an extended range hybrid version of it as well. It looks fairly neat. I'm going to say it's not as sexy as most Mazdas. Most Mazdas have a lot of fluid lines along the side, and this just really doesn't have that, because the Deepal SL03 doesn't have that. But nevertheless, it's a fairly neat looking car. No one seems to be looking at this one on the display. Can I look inside? No, the doors are locked on that one. So I can't really look inside that one. I'll see if I can find one with the doors open. I showed you this previously in Beijing, in case you wanted to see it. Someone seems to be in this one, even though the door handles are closed. But there you go. That's the interior. Fairly racy. Brown materials. I still can't get inside. Brown materials inside the car. That's your EZ6. Right, that's 4 holes. Sorry, no, it's not. What am I talking about? Let's head over to AITO. I'm not going to cover AITO really, because we've just covered them at the Huawei Intelligent Mobility Alliance stand. But they've brought, obviously, the M7, one of the top 10 best-selling electrified vehicles in the world. I think it's number 7, something like that. You've got the AITO M5, and then for some reason they've got a really empty bit in the middle here. That's the M9 on the TV screen over there. There's one you can look at over here. This is a big car, this one. Competes with the Li Auto L9. And just check it out. I mean, loads of Huawei tech. Look inside there. You've got screens all across the dashboard. You've got loads of speakers. This guy's got a tablet down here. This up here is a projector screen that comes down, because over there you've got a projector at the back. And of course you've got leg rests that come up on your seats down here as well. Armrests, wireless chargers in the back. Very luxurious car, the M9. Now Mengshi at this show seem to have blocked off their stand, so I'm not going to queue to get into Mengshi, but there's this one I think is on sale in Switzerland now. They've launched something that looks fairly new over there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know what that is. It looks like a normal Mengshi. This is they've got the M917 Hero and the M Hunter. They've been showing off for a while. Maybe they've finally made it real. Oh no, we can get in. Sorry, I'll just walk in around here then. But the next stand is Xiaomi anyway. So let's just dive in, get a quick look around whatever it is they're showing off here. This is the 917. So this is what they did. They pulled the covers off this earlier, but I don't know if it's been updated or not. It's got at least 3 motors, possibly even 4. This one. This is a real off-road car. And really quite expensive as well. So I think the chance of us getting to drive one of those, quite difficult, but we'll give it a go. And then they've got this one over here, which looks like it's been modified to be even higher. I mean, look at the suspension in there. That is nuts. That's really, sounds like a monster truck. Okay, off we go to hall number 5. Alrighty, here we are at the Geely stand, and again, a lot of interesting things going on with Geely models at the moment. We have, of course, Radar. They have been brought inside Geely Auto now. They're going to be the Radar Horizon abroad. Got a video of that pickup truck. Many people waiting for it in Australia. And trust me, Geely know that people want it. I told them yesterday when I went to see them about the E5 or the EX5, which I'll show you over here. This is the Geely Galaxy E5. Fairly nondescript in terms of its styling, not the kind of most adventurous styling on this car, but it's fully electric, very well equipped by the way. Head-up display over there, 16 speakers in this car, wireless charger, 15.4-inch screen. It's got Aegis short blade batteries in it, so it can charge 30 to 80% in 20 minutes. 11-in-1 electric motor under the front there. That's the E5. Going abroad is the EX5. We'll have a video review of that very soon. They've also got the Starship 7. This is a plug-in hybrid with the new EMI technology. This one should be able to do 1,500 kilometers of range, something like that. They did initially say that platform, that hybrid energy platform, can do up to 2,400 kilometers or something in that ballpark. And they've then lowered it down to 1,400 or 1,500 for the actual production car, weirdly enough. Now this one doesn't seem to be quite as well equipped as the Galaxy L7. You see, just have a quick look in there. You've got your Flyme sound speakers, you've got your screen in the middle. These guys are filming, so I'm not going to get too involved in what they're doing. But let me fly over to the L7 over here, which is this one. And the L7, you can see, has a screen on this side too. So you've got a screen there, screen in the middle, and a screen at the back, and a head-up display as well. So this one's a really well-equipped plug-in hybrid. But this is the Galaxy L7. That's the Galaxy E5. L for hybrid, E for electric. We've got an E8 around here somewhere as well. Here it is. Here's the E8, which we reviewed earlier this year. So that's a fully electric car there. Slide around the back of this camera, dude. There we go. That's the E8. And we've got the Giyome as well. This is also, Giyome has been brought into the Galaxy range as well. So they've got the Geely Panda, that cute thing over there, the black one. And they've now got this, the Giyome as well. This is a bit like the Dongfeng Nammi that we saw earlier. Little electric car, the kind of car that people in Europe really, really want. They want this car in Europe. And I think they're probably going to get it at some point as well. Cute lights on this, by the way. Look at those. They're really nice. I wonder if that'll get the Aegis short blade batteries as well. I'm not sure, but there you go. That's the Giyome Xinyuan, I think it's called. They'll probably get a different name when it goes abroad. And of course, you've got the Panda This is the karting version, which comes with the funky twin-tone wheels and the large rear spoiler up there as well. And you've got the Rancher version that looks like an SUV. There's your L6 saloon. We drove that actually on a racetrack, and it wasn't half bad. They've also got, of course, in the Geely group, the LEVC brand. Now I want to show you something, because this is something I couldn't show you earlier because we didn't have this car available, but this is the 4-row version. So check it out. 1, 2, 3, and this row is the 4th row. Flips up so you can have everyone facing forwards, or flips down so you can sit here and do fishing mode, or in this case, drinking some tea in your cups. So that's pretty cool. I believe these also fold. I think they fold into the floor, so you can actually fold them flat into the floor and have yourself your full 3 rows in there. And all 3 of those rows recline and have leg rest, by the way, which is incredible. It's such a cool car, this one. It is an absolute bus of a vehicle. Got a review of that, check out the link below. They've also got a 4-seat fancy version. Let me see if I can get a camera in here. I've got some B-roll of this already. If you look, kind of a sofa in the back there with leg rests, and what happens here is you've got a screen there. This section here slides out there. It's got a fold-out table on it and a bit of storage on there as well. So yeah, that's the LEVC L380 4-seater edition, and this one you see is just actually 4 seats inside. So they've got all the seats out of this one. It's only 4 seats, loads of luggage space in there, and really loads of luggage space. And there's just your... Okay. We've actually got a little chassis of here, so you can see this is how it works. So the 4th row does fold into the floor there, as you can see. And with the 4th row out the way, this row here can slide to the back, and you've got good leg room for all 3 of those rows then in front. So that's LEVC. We've got Ford at the show. I think they may, I don't know if they have a Mustang convertible in China before. I mean, it looks pretty cool. You don't see many of them, except in places like Kunming. Is that a physical handbrake? No way, they've actually got a physical handbrake. Incredible. I can't believe they have a physical handbrake on that. That must be something else, surely. The Ford Mondeo. See, I mean, it's what time is it now? It's 4:30. Got an hour and a half to try and finish this show off. That's the EVOS SUV kind of crossover thing. So they've actually not brought many cars this time, and that's because they don't really do electric cars, so they're struggling. Their sales are going down in China, as are the sales of many other brands who are offering petrol-powered cars. Now here's an interesting one. Let's head over to, this is like a van company, never heard of these before, JIIIC. So I won't go into too many details about them because I don't know any. But this is the ID Unix. This was launched earlier this year in China in July. Sales have not been good. This is based on the MEB platform, Volkswagen's MEB platform. If we can get the interior. It's actually quite nice, you know, inside. It looks pretty aggressive. You get a head-up display over there. You get Volkswagen's usual NAF screen in the middle. Pretty sexy seats, big chunky side bolsters, and memory on those as well. You also get those stupid buttons where you have to press this one to change this to the rear window. But the Unix, basically Volkswagen Anhui, or Anhui Volkswagen, who build this in China, one of the 3 Volkswagen kind of groups in China, they were planning on making a few more models with the MEB platform, which is Volkswagen's platform. They've canned those. They've canned them. All future models will come on the Xpeng platform, the CEA platform, they're developing together with Xpeng. So interesting times for Unix. Let's see how they can hold on in the future. That one's got 40,000 RMB discount until the end of the year to try and get some sales on it. Of course, you've got the ID7 Vision Pro, ID4 Cross. They are showing the ID Buzz, even though I'm not 100% certain that they're planning on selling this in China. Compare this, by the way, to a Zeekr Mix. What do you get? High up front seating, they don't turn, middle row bench, doesn't even slide forward separately. Oh, it does slide forward separately. A few more seats in the back, I think, so at least you get a 3rd row. But the Mix is so much cooler, and actually probably a little tiny bit shorter than that as well. Then they got a concept car over there from previously, but no one's really paying that much attention. And then we get to actual Volkswagen. And I usually slag these guys off for how little interest they have in their stand. They had a bit in Chengdu, but I mean, they're just all petrol cars. So I mean, things like this are the reasons why Volkswagen are shutting 3 factories in Germany. And I feel sorry for the workers because they've basically been abandoned by government and abandoned by the company, it would seem. This floor is very weird to walk on. So yeah, let's head to the next hall. Alrighty, into BYD's hall. They're celebrating 30 years this year, from 1994 to 2024. They started off as a battery manufacturer. They made batteries for phones, for Nokias and Motorola's. Got a video about BYD coming out fairly soon about the batteries and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that one in the future. This is the Sea Lion 07, which is coming to Australia very soon. That's a pretty nifty SUV, bit spongy, but it's a good car actually. It's pretty well equipped inside. What else have we got? We've got some, we're getting new stuff at BYD? Can't remember if we do. We of course have the 06 GT, which went on sale a couple of months ago. Not sure if it's contributing much in China at the moment. It's really more for European markets. Annoyingly, they haven't had the doors open on that all day. So I've not been able to get you an interior look at that one. They do have a new car, I remember now. It's over here. We're not going to get to look inside it, I'm afraid. Looks like we've got belts all the way around it, but this is the BYD Xia XIA. There's the character on the bonnet there. This is the Xia MPV. It's going to be a hybrid. And see if we can get a quick look inside. You can see we've got at least, let's try and zoom in there. We've got at least one screen, 2 screens, maybe one on the passenger side as well. Digital rear view mirror, I can see in there. Interior is closing off there. Try and show you the back of it, if I can get a look at the back of it. There we go. Can't really get a good look at the back of it, they're not showing it off too much. But that's the MPV, so BYD, they have the M6, I think it's called the M6 MPV. They're going to make, look, there's Black Myth Wukong, there's the Monkey King. This funky hat on. Yeah, so they're going to, they're going to have another MPV basically. The other one's going to the UK, I believe, the M6, but they don't sell it in China, so I can't show it you on this stand. What else have we got? BYD got the, I think that's the Song L DMI, which might be known as the Sea Lion 6 in Australia and some other markets. Also the Up, which is quite small and cute, very nice. A lot of live streamers. I'm never sure like who I'm actually interfering with. Most of them are just sales, so it's not really that big a deal. Now let's try and dive into Yangwang while they're open. I think we're going to get let in here. I'm going to show you the Yangwang U7. I did get some B-roll of this earlier just in case. But here's the BYD, the Yangwang U7. This is their 3rd model under the U8 and U9. It's got the same kind of crazy lights at the front there. See them a little bit more on this one, but you'll see actually they're slightly different. This one doesn't have the kind of the fanned lights at the bottom here, whereas this one does have the fanned lights around the bottom. And I think the difference is, this one's an E4 by the way, so you see you've got a LiDAR unit there and E4, that means it's got 4 motors. If we can get into this, can we get in? Oh, we can. No, we can't. Okay, we can't get in. But there's the interior. So if I can cover that off for you. Big screen in the middle, very much like the Yangwang U8. Oops, sorry. And there's a screen on this side here as well. Lovely red interior. They're not showing us any more of the interior on that. This one is saloon version. I'm not really sure what the difference is, to be honest. The back looks the same. This one looks more elegant, and this one looks more sporty. So I need to check the details on that, and I'll put them at the bottom as and when I find them. This one again, 4 motors. So like the Yangwang U8, which is that beast over there at the back, 4 motors, which is going to be in excess of 1,000 horsepower, probably about 240 kilowatts per wheel, I would say that is. They've also got, of course, Fangchongbao. This brand will be coming to Australia and other markets as a Denza Denza's the next BYD brand going to Australia. I know a lot of the followers and viewers are from Australia, just to give you that heads up. That means that you might also get the Fangcheng Bao 8, which is the latest model. Looks quite similar to the 5, but a bit bigger. You do get LiDAR units up there on the top of the screen, head-up display, big screen inside. A lot of people sat in the back of this one, so I can't really give you the details. Let's try and show you from the back what it looks like. 3-row SUV, this one, as you can see. Here's your 3rd row down there. And look at this here, look at these screens in the middle. Let me see if I can zoom into those there. Interesting screens here to control what's going on in the back of the car. And I think there's probably a very silvery lady walking past now. There's probably a fridge in there as well somewhere. And that's probably got 3, I think that's got 3 motors. I think it's the E3 platform. In fact, no, if that's the... Good question. The E3 is a different car, I think. That might be the Denza... I'm trying to remember now, I can't remember. Probably over here, actually, the one I'm thinking of. Let me double check. Ah, it is, of course, yeah. The N9. This is the new car. This was spied testing in the UK. Check out the size of this. Look at that. That is absolutely enormous. And they haven't showed us the interior yet. Big chunky light bar across the back. You'll see this one says E3 down there. So E3 means that you get 3 motors. You either get an engine and 2 motors, or 3 motors. So 1 on the back axle, 1 on the back axle, sorry, 2 on the back axle, 1 on the front. And yeah, like 950 horsepower. Let me try and get around all these people. A lot of people checking this car out and fancy cameras everywhere. Never know who you're upsetting. This is the Z9, of course, the one that can do that weird turn on the front wheel. This is quite a luxurious car, but it's really, really busy there at the moment, so I'm not going to show you that one. So yeah, they've now got the D9 here. This is the Pioneer Edition. Does that mean that it's got 4 seats in the back? Of course it does. 4 seats, big TV screen in there, probably a champagne fridge down at the bottom as well. So that's a fancy D9 for people who are very, very rich and like to get driven around in opulence. Trust me, it's nicer than a Toyota Alphard. So yeah, D9, Z9, N9, and N7 at Denza. Now I'll head to the, which hole are we on now? I don't know, 8th hole. So as we head into the 8th hole, just want to go back to a topic I was mentioning earlier, the brands that are not here this year. So we don't have Haikan, we don't have Venutia, we don't have Genesis, we don't have Hi-Fi, of course, we don't have Yuanhang, they're pretty much already dead as well. So yeah, there's a few more on the list as well, I can't remember all of them. This is the new Cadillac XT5. This is a car that you can't get in America, but I'll show you what it's like. A lot of our subscribers and followers are from America as well. So you see a pretty nice interior there with an enormous 33-inch 9K screen. Thank you very much for pointing that out with your eyeball on the screen there. It smells quite nice. It's a single wireless charger in the middle, kind of a chintzy bit of a roller wheel there. What do you get in the back? You get a bench seat in the back with, it folds down, I think, basically. But yeah, there you go. That's your Cadillac XT5. Still doesn't seem like it's anything like as good as it needs to be to compete in China. And you'll see, not a great deal of attention, at least at this time of day, on the Cadillac stand. They are, of course, selling the Lyric. You'll see one of those every now and then. And honestly, I love the style of the Cadillacs. I think they look really, really nice. It's a shame that we don't actually get many of them sold anymore. Onto the Audi stand, and this will be Audi from FAW. So FAW builds some Audis in China, as do SAIC, I think it might be, from memory. So I'll just wander straight through that bit. Nothing much going on over there. What have they got over here? The RS6 Avant GT. They were advertising this at the airport. That looks quite meaty. I certainly would like to drive an RS6 Avant. Check out the body kit on that and the wheels. Very nice. still nothing quite like an Audi estate, is there? In terms of that kind of aggression. Q6L Sportback e-tron. Can't say I'm a big fan of that front face, but look, twin LiDAR units. Twin LiDAR units down there. Does that mean they're trying to get into the autonomous driving game? We're going to have to maybe see if we can try that one out. Let's see if you get the Q6L e-tron in other countries. Just the usual Audi stuff over there at the back. The Durant Guild, of course, are over there. I'm not going to talk about the Durant Guild. They actually put the Chevrolet Tahoe on sale in China. Now this is a brand I want to talk about. 212. Sounds a bit like everybody in the house saying 212. I think it's 313 actually. But yeah, this is a brand that was called BAW, Beijing Automotive Works. They were part of BAIC, they're not anymore. And they've now kind of rebranded as 212. There it is. So yeah, they have these kind of funky old looking Jeep things. And I mean, they're new. And I believe they are, oh, sorry, go on the back of this fella here. I believe they are petrol powered. Let me see if we can see an exhaust pipe under there. Yep, there is one. So yeah, I mean, they're quite boxy. They're really using their heritage on these. Maybe I can grab a quick look inside, show you the interior. Oh, it's locked, so I can't. No worries, let me try and find you another one. Okay, maybe I'll just skit in behind this lady here. If I can try not to crash. Sorry. Let's have a look through the back here, sorry. There you go, big screen in the middle, big wheel. Quite old school inside, to be honest with you, that one. But yeah, this is their first time at a motor show. Proper like off-road style bodywork in there, body on frame, chassis, kind of metal squidgy bits. Got your hook on the front there. So 212, very cool. Now I think getting onto the Hongqi stand might be tough. This is the sunflower stand, so this is basically, to phrase this nice, the bee's bollocks of Hongqi. These are the super fancy ones. So look at that. And actually, we are going to be able to get on. Oh no, hold on. No space for one. Oh yeah, let me on. Cool. Tissue, thank you. Cool. So now we're finally on. This is the big man's car. Look at this. There it is. Very nice. Oops, sorry. This is sorry. It's crashing into a fella there. So yeah. Can't say I like the back of it very much. It looks like a back end from a smaller car that's been wedged onto a bigger car. But look at this. Look at the grille on that. Yes. That's funky. Just zoom into those lights. Wow, look at that. That's a cool effect. They're really nice.
Hello.
Hello. Let's just check out I think this is called the Voyah over here. And I've got a dude in front of me here. Okay, he's insistent on getting in the way. Yeah, this looks like a lean, heavy machine. Got a kind of, instead of round lights, we've got these kind of dewdrop shaped lights there on the front, if you know what dewdrops are. 20-inch alloys on that, so I can zoom through the window. Maybe a quick glance at the opulence of the inside of a Hongqi. There you go. Last time I only had you photographs of this, so now I've got you a little bit of video on the stand. And this looks like another Voyah. We can actually get into that one, I think. That one's got a champagne fridge in the back, I can see. But there you go, there's your Hongqi. Cool. So that's the sunflower stuff. Then we've got the normal cars. They've got a new one today. This one, the Tiangong 08. So it's kind of an SUV. 800 volt platform on this, I think. Super fast charging. I think it's like 5C, something like that. I forget all the details about this one. I'll put them in the description again. So you've got kind of an interesting shaped screen inside. This is Hongqi New Energy. So basically they do electric cars for Hongqi, and they're just styled a bit differently from normal Hongqis. They don't go with that big bold grille on the front, you'll see it actually looks fairly similar to the EHS3 over there. But this is a new platform. Again, I'll put details about that in the bottom. I've forgotten them. I read them last night and they've gone. 21-inch wheels. But yeah, classic Hongqi red line down the bonnet there for you. And then they've got a big empty space here in the middle. There's another 08 over there in grey. They of course have the EH7, which is over here. This is the EH7. Haven't seen too many of these on the road in China, to be honest with you. But if they're going to put this one on the new platform at some point, it might do a bit better. I do think they need to improve their tech a little bit at Hongqi to be successful. But there you go, that's another haul into the next one. Now here we are at Infinity. This I think is quite a new model for China actually, the Infinity QX55. Didn't realise that was a car. But I mean, look at the interior, right? That is just not, that's just not modern Chinese standards. It's just not competing. It's not even trying to compete. And you can see how well that's going for them. The lack of attention on the stand, even here. In this one, I think it's the QX60. Now, little letterbox screen on the dashboard. Sure, they're nice, but they're not good. And then the big QX60 there. Now this is interesting. Check this out. This is Great Wall's stand. Okay, you know Great Wall. They have Aura. They have Havao. They have Poa. They have Wei. Who else have they got? I think they've got at least 5 brands. Well, today they've only got one. One brand, one car. Everywhere you look, green Wei Lanshans. That's it. There's literally about 23 or 24 green Wei Lanshans. And that is all they've brought. What is that all about? If they wanted to make sure the media had cars, they've done that successfully. If they wanted to get media to have this car. One big difference though, you'll notice the LiDAR unit up there on the top of the screen. They've now got a new autonomous driving system that can do urban autonomous driving. We're hoping to try that at some point, but trying to get hold of a PR person earlier was not particularly easy. Now what we can see is that this car is fairly practical. You get 2 large screens down there at the front of the dashboard. You get a screen up here in the back for your rear passengers, and you can fold everything flat and put a mattress on there to have a bed. And of course it is a 6-seater car as well. So it's a fairly practical car, this. It's a plug-in hybrid. So they're doing fairly well with these. Plug-in hybrids, I think, are probably going to be the favoured car or drivetrain for the next 5 years or so, just until EVs finally crack that border, let's say. But again, that's it. That's your Wei stand, or Great Wall stand, and it says always. Always up. Porsche here, of course, with the usual colourful arrangement of cars. They've got a Macan electric over there at the back. But it's tucked into that little room at the back. I'm not going to wait to get on that. Then we've got some imported Volkswagens over here. They get their own stand. So these are the ones that they don't make in China. We've then got Mini and BYD and BMW, sorry. That's pretty funky. I like that. Lowered Mini. There's a Cooper for you. Anything interesting on the Mini stand? Doesn't seem so. Got a Mini Aceman over here at the back. I do not like the look of that. That's okay, but it looks a bit too long from the side. So yeah, I do like this though. This is cool. This mini trailer here. That's fun. There's seats in the back so you can sit in the back of your car. Isn't that cute? And then you got a motorbike as well. Oops, sorry. This is nice. This was in Chengdu, BMW M5. And it's pretty ugly, but it looks amazing in yellow. And we've got the M3, which again looks amazing in green. I was asking somebody about BMWs the other day, because I haven't been in one for a while. And they were telling me that they're very nice. The screen in the front works very well. The screen in the back is a bit slow. So if you have been in a BMW with the big screen in the back, do please tell me what your experience of that is. Is that correct? And by the big screen in the back, I mean this one here. This guy's trying to play with it. Yeah, he said that, the guy I was talking to said it's really slow, but that's the E5, of course, the electric BMW 5 Series. You got X3 over there, 2 of them, and then you got some scooters as well. BMW scooters and motorbikes and things. So that is BMW. There's an XM. I actually saw one of those the other day. Somebody actually bought one. That's BMW. Into the next haul. Alrighty, another haul. Few international brands here. One of which is Lynk Co with this 2-tone aviator. It's got the Nautilus here as well. Nautilus is pretty cool. I think it's locked. It's got a screen all the way across the back of the dashboard there. But Lynk Co have brought 2 really cool cars to this show. And that's going to surprise you a little bit. But when you see them, you'll understand why. Because here they are. Look at that. Possibly the 2 coolest cars in the show. I don't know what that car is called. It's called a Zephyr. Oh, it's a Lincoln Zephyr. Okay, I know that one. Class was permanent back then, wasn't it? And then look at this one. That's probably an original Zephyr. I'm guessing. Look at the size of the steering wheel. Look at that. Absolutely enormous. So I'm going to guess that's an original Zephyr. But I'm guessing they didn't put badges in the back of the cars then. There you go. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay, Mercedes-Benz, what have you got for us? What have you brought to the show? Anything to get us excited? A GLC? A V-Class? An EQE? They brought the electric G-Class. It's finally not on a wall, going up the wall, as it has been in recent shows. Can do the tank turn, of course. Looks pretty cool in that blue. And a GLC coupe. Oh, they've really not got a lot going on here, have they? There's a Maybach over there. And a few G-Wagons. Beijing is absolutely full of G-Wagons. It is the car to have if you live in Beijing, apparently. And then let's go to AMG over here, where we've got that very attractive thing. CLE in AMG trim, that looks lovely. And an SL, of course, in yellow. But yeah, nothing new from Mercedes. Better not call them Volkswagen. And then we got Hyundai. So Hyundai have actually opened up a new R&D center in China. And if you've watched our previous videos, you'll know that I've been asking questions of why do they show their electric cars and not sell them here? Well, they kind of do, but they only sell this one. Now this is the Ioniq 5N, of course. You know about that one, it's been reviewed everywhere. I sat in that earlier for the first time. Absolutely wonderful seats. They've also got a hydrogen car, this one. This is a Nexo. That's a hydrogen electric car. And I mean, let's have a quick look inside, because I'm guessing it's not going to be that special inside. Yeah, not bad actually, not bad. I mean, that is a lot of switches. Look at that. Wow. That's a ridiculous number of switches for a modern world car. But it's reasonable. Never seen one on the road though, as I haven't seen an Ioniq 5N either. They brought the Intium concept car. This is pretty nice. I don't know what that's going to preview, a new Tucson or something like that. They turn the lights off on it though, sadly. And of course they've got a Tucson over here. Santa Fe's and the likes at the back, but I won't focus on those because they are not particularly new to anybody. So let's cruise onto the Beijing stand, or bike, which comes with a few brands, including of course Beijing, who offer this, the BJ40, the BJ60 plug-in hybrid. It even looks like it might be slightly fully electric, but I don't think it is. BJ30, smaller version, and another BJ60 over here. We've also got Arc Fox at the show. That's their Alpha S5T, no, AT5, sorry. Alpha T5. It's pretty cool. But the one I want to see is the, well, they're also showing off Stellato. Let me see if I can get close enough to this Stellato to show you what it looks like in the back, because these are really nice. I'll show you this if I can get in. People are sat in the car having a good time. Check out the back seats. There you go, look at that. Very luxurious. Super thick cushion on here. Lovely backrest that you can move backwards and forwards. As Phil's showing the screen off there in the middle. Got a fridge down there as well, I believe. There should be a fridge and a heater. No, it might not be. I'm not sure, hang on, let's have a look. No, it's just a drawer. It's just a drawer, so it's not a fridge. I think there is a fridge in here though, actually. Yes, there is a fridge. There you go, fridge there in the middle of the rear seat, including, oh yeah, I thought that was 2 USB sockets for some reason. Lovely paintwork on that, and I really love these wheels. How good are they? So the Stellato S9, I'll show you the front seat actually, that fella's just got out. Let me show you the front seat. There you go, screen there. No head-up display on this, that's interesting. Big screen in the middle, twin wireless chargers, lovely comfy seats. No head-up display. Well, 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 that's interesting. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect that. Have we got the Alpha? We've got it in racing trim, the Alpha S. Looks pretty cool in racing trim. They're actually racing this in a competition. I think it's in Chinese touring cars, which is nice. That's a cool looking car. I do like this one. The Alpha AS5. Something along those lines. I don't know if it's called Alpha or A anymore. Yeah, that's Arc Fox. That's all of our hauls from downstairs. Okay, 5 more hauls. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so into the 5th final haul of the show. On our left side, you'll see here we have Lotus. Nothing new over here, but actually a big queue to get into the stand. We have had to move into day 2 for this video because we didn't manage to get enough time yesterday to finish it off. But there you go, they've got a new special edition EMEA actually, with the yellow and green paint job there. That looks pretty nice. And a normal one in front of us here. We've then got a pretty big stand actually for Volvo. So let me move the camera down slightly so you can see what's going on. This is Volvo. No new cars here from them. They may have the EX90 on display, I would guess, because it's not far away from coming to China, I believe. We've got XC60, this one by the way, currently a 25% discount on that. 313,000 RMB. EM90 of course, the Zeekr 009 based MPV. That's pushing hard in China, but it's pretty expensive to be honest with you compared to the Zeekr 009, which is now an even better car than it was when that came out. Now we've got Buick, and they seem to be focusing pretty much on the GL8 PHEV. Quick look inside one of those. You've got a screen on the roof there, a lot of touch controls, heating, ventilation, massage, and you'll see there they're showing off that car over on the stand in the background. But I mean, Buick are suffering a little bit. Like most of the brands that are still offering petrol cars, they're trying with hybrids. So this is one car here, the Avenir version of the LaCrosse, I think this is. There's a lot of more people on the trade day, so we're going to have to get our elbows out a little bit. And of course we've got the, I believe it's called the Electra over there. Then we've got Honda, and actually look at this. Quite a lot of interest in the Honda stand, funnily enough. And this is a different Honda. This is the FAW. Sorry, what am I about? It's Toyota. I saw red and white. I immediately thought Honda. No, this is Toyota. FAW Toyota. And yeah, quite a bit of attention over here. One car that's getting most of that attention is the FJ Cruiser. I believe it's the new Land Cruiser. But look at that. Dirty old technology inside there. Now they have launched a new concept recently, I'm pretty sure, and it might be this one. This is a BZ3C. I'm sure this was in Beijing though. I mean, I would consider buying that if the tech was good. That's a very nice looking car, actually. It's got all the good bits of a Prius, but it's brought them into kind of a crossover long hatch design somehow. There's another Land Cruiser with the rear seats folded flat. There's also over here a cross version of the BZ3C. This is a more chunky off-road version. This is a Field Go concept. So you see it's got a jacked up ride height, very chunky tyres on there. Let's see what kind of tech Toyota are showing in these cars. Let me try and dive in with the camera, show you that. So there you go, 15-inch screen in the middle. Still feels very much like a Toyota inside, but you've got, is that a bed in the back there? Looks like we've got a, I can't open the rear doors. Looks like we've got a bed kind of in the back of the car there. So they're trying to show this as a camping car with the rally style flaps on the back of it, the mud flaps. But yeah, this side of the stand with the old petrol cars, you see, not a great deal of interest there. Then for some reason we've got a bunch of Volkswagen rally cars. Not entirely sure why that is over there. Now the next stand I don't think we're going to be able to get on. This is Lexus. This is a super expensive car here in China. They've shown it at a few of the last few motor shows. I forget what the name is. I think it's called a Century, possibly. But yeah, that's closed off to the public, and it takes up a good 1/3 of their stand size. But you see, actually, still a fair bit of interest in all the other cars, which might suggest a bit of a difference in consumer between Chengdu and Beijing and Shanghai. Still a lot of people here on this stand. Yeah, all the blue ones are salespeople, but certainly there's still a lot of interest in luxury Japanese cars. Maybe they're not quite done yet. Let me try and sneak through one of these gaps and have a look inside one of them for the technology. Let's look inside this one on our right side. Just stick our camera in there. Sorry. So you see they've got a screen with kind of embedded controls in there. Still does feel like a Japanese car though. It's not got the modern, fresh feel. This one's getting a lot of attention. This is the new, is it they call it the LX? That's right, yeah, LX 700. I mean, that's a big, bold front end. That's an enormous car. Check out the bonnet on that. Probably still a V8, maybe a hybrid now. This is quite fancy. What's this? A few little pockets in the back of this one. This is also an LX 700, is it? No, it's got a different light on it. That's a GX 550. Again, new car. Let me just dive in the front, have a quick look at what kind of dashboard we're looking at in here. See, some good off-roading credentials in there. Is this a wireless? No, it's a 12V socket. Okay, so very interesting looking things there. And this is your screen, but it's not turned on, so I can't really show you what that looks like. Still feels a bit old school, that Lexus. Anyway, let's head on to the next hall. So now we're heading into the GAC hall. So basically, these are the hometown heroes. This is the Guangzhou-based brand, and they've got a bunch of others underneath, like AION, Hype Tech, and others. And we've got a bit of new metal to show you in this hall as well. First off, we've got GAC Toyota, and this is their 3X, which is, quite honestly, a pretty ugly car. Let's try and get around here. Get a good angle of the front of this car. So that's what it looks like. It feels like the front end of a Prius grafted onto a car that's maybe not quite as cool as it should be. Maybe we can get inside. No, the doors are locked, so let's look inside instead. Twin wireless chargers, big screen in the middle. Interesting kind of orange and white paint scheme in here. And a baby seat in the back seat as well there. So they're obviously using GAC technology, and that's an electric car. We'll see how well that does, if it actually gets any interest here in the Chinese market. There's a bit of a breakdown of what it looks like on the inside. Skeleton of a, what do they call it, a 3X? There's also at the back here a 4X. Now this one I think, interesting. This is a full BEV, actually it says BEV on the side of it. But it's basically this, yeah, it's basically a BZ4X, but actually they changed the name of it in Chinese. They don't call it BZ. But again, another Toyota stand, another Japanese car brand stand with a lot of people. But I suppose they've got to go somewhere. Actually, there's a good look at the new model. That's the side profile of it. It's also got a LiDAR unit on top of the screen as well. So whether it comes with autonomous urban abilities or probably just level 2, I'll have to find that out for you. Try and put it in the bottom if I can. Let's weave our way through the crowd. I'm a big guy, but I've got to be pretty live to get to all this lot. Let's slide through there. Okay, so they're making a big deal out of that, and you can see old-fashioned cars like the Alphard over here don't seem to be getting that much interest. It's more just models stood in front of it. Now we've got GAC Honda, and again, quite a bit of interest here. Many people just want to play with the games, because you'll see how many kids there are. These kids are the future of the Chinese car industry. They're going to be looking to cars from these brands to see if they have any interest, if they survive long enough in China. Let's just dive through there. So we've got here the ENPZ. This is an electric car from Honda. I mean, it's interesting. We've also got the P7. This is the Ye P7, like Ye's in YE, and that's a fairly handsome looking car. Let me dive out of here. Get a look around this side. Let me take a little walk around the back of it if I can. I like the back end actually. The back end's got some decent proportions there. I think I've seen one of those ENPZs on the road, maybe two. Oh, look at this. Now this is getting no attention at all, but I don't know why. This is a GT. Look at that. That is a good looking car. Now it's clearly a concept because you've got interesting things like this kind of fake material there on the back of it and at the bottom. But interesting fastback profile. Reminds me a bit of a Lynk Co Z10 actually. And that'll be electric, so if they make that, yeah, I'd take a look at that. No problem at all. Now we've got people queuing up here to play a game, so that's basically a whole list of people just queuing up to play a game, as is often the case at some of these shows. Let's head away from there and go to the exciting stuff. There's one car that I can't wait to see over here that is of use to Europe, and it is the AION UT. It's a new compact hatchback, 100 kilowatts motor, I think on the rear axle. Lovely colour. Let's show this one. That's really nice. You see this bonnet here, it's kind of a top-end bonnet on that. Slightly Kia Ceed-esque lights down there at the bottom. Let me just straighten my bag out. Charge port at the front. Let's have a look inside. Someone's playing with the screen in there. You've got some nice vents, bit of storage down at the bottom of the dashboard. If I can get a look in one of these. That's the back end. That's a very practical boot, isn't it? Very wide opening, low load lip on that. These are your cool little lights on the back. Let me see if I can get a nose in one of these, a better nose. It's very busy. Look at all the people over there at the back end of the stand. Interesting, look at that. They're going for some retro wheels on this one. Not sure I'd go for that. This looks like a modern car with retro wheels. You've got some chrome down there as well. Suddenly going to get very loud in here. Let me throw my camera into the interior there. Show you the dash. Show you the back seat. Good luck, that space. She's got loads of room in there. Loads of space in the rear seat. Nice little dashboard. See if I can zoom in. Hang on, let's zoom into that gap there. There you go, down there. Wireless charger in the middle, and two cup holders. That speaker's really loud. This is the RT now. This has come out since as well. This is a fully electric saloon. I've come here at the wrong time, haven't I? Take a look inside that front there. Just look at the screen. Oh God, this guy's going to get out. Just dive in there with the camera. Look, wireless charger, 15-inch screen. Lots of screens as usual. No heads-up display on this one. Adigo speaker system. That's really quite nice in there. Thank you. Here's the back of the car. If I can get you a decent angle of that.
你等我一下，我等一下跟你看我抖音，我跟你说。
Wow, the speaker systems that are so loud in these places. Let's try and get through this crowd. Someone's trying to win a car, I guess. I mean, look at the crowd. Look at that. Look at that. So many people over there. Now this actually, I forgot to mention, this got something like 40,000 orders in the first day, which is impressive. Very impressive. And we've also, of course, got the AION Y, which we showed you at the Chengdu Auto Show. So I won't go into the details of that, but this is going to Australia and probably to European markets as well. And this is the first time they've let everyone get so close to the Hypetech SSR. Look at that. It's just totally open to everybody. Have a quick dive into that interior there. Look at that. Very fancy. Not sure they're going to let people sit inside it, but nevertheless, they brought it out in yellow this time. And it looks really good. This is 1.9 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour on there. Then, of course, you've got your standard Hypetech cars, including the HT. So we've moved into Hypetech now from AION. This is the HT with the gull wing doors, super reclining seats in there. There's your dashboard with the cool display right at the back of the dashboard, which is quite far away. Little tiny steering wheel and a big screen in there. This car is on an 800 volt platform, also a 400 volt platform, so it depends which one you go for. And then, oh, look at that. Interesting kind of military colours on that one. Oh, here we go, I've got to show you this one. This is very important. I almost missed this one. The Hypetech HL. Let's dive over here at the HL. So this is another brand new model from Hypetech. Look at this. That is a 3-row large SUV. Let's dive in and get a close look at these headlamps. 3 strips in there going down to the bottom. You've got kind of a light up grille at the bottom there that says hello as well. Big wheels on this. They look like 21 inches. 21-inch wheels on that. Let's try and have a quick look on the inside. Don't know if the doors are open, I don't think so. Big screen, that's at least 16 inches in there. Head-up display, twin wireless chargers, twin cup holders, nice fancy pillows on the back of the screen. And if you can see in the back, there you see, we've got captain's seats in the back. There's a fridge down on the right side as well. You've also got little screens in your seats so that you can control things. I'm going to guess there's probably a zero gravity seat in here somewhere. And you've got kind of a big speaker on the other side lit up with ambient lighting. And in the back seat, can we see anything in there? There you go, we can see it is a 6-seater in the back. Not a massive amount of leg room and behind there once that seat's all the way back. But 6-seaters rarely do have a lot of space in the back. And there's your styling at the back of the HL. So we've got, again, that kind of reflection of the 3 strips at the back and a full width light bar all the way across the back. Looks quite round, actually. I'm going to guess if I press the boot lid, it's not going to open. No, it doesn't. Okay. So that is the Hypetech HL, and it should be on an 800 volt platform. There might also be a 400 volt version of it, which can charge at something like 250 kilowatts. So pretty fast charging on this one. It's also got, of course, AUDI Go, the autonomous driving system from GAC. We still can't get into them, but you can get a clearer idea of the dashboard through that window there. So yeah, GAC always bring out the goods at their home market, home motor show, and they've done the same thing here. And if you'd forgotten, by the way, this is the Hyper GT in the weird camo colours. This is a very funky car. Have they changed this since I drove it? I don't think so. Big screen in the middle. Interesting brown interior in there. Looks fairly nice. There you go. Take a look inside. The one that I drove had a yellow interior, which I really, really liked. There's a scissor door version over there. Let me show you the scissor door version just very quickly. We also had this one on our test drive. So you can see the link to this in the bottom of the description below. And then finally we've got standard GAC, which is otherwise known as Trumpchi. So we've got the M-Power R there. I would love to drive this one. This one looks like a lot of fun. And again, they've brought a brand new model. Let's check it out. It is the S7, which does give off a few Range Rover vibes, especially in the side profile. Not from this angle. Let me take you to the side profile, and you can check this out. They've even got a kids' play area in there. Look at that. That's cool. Side profile feels very Range Rover, doesn't it? But what I like is these kind of big swollen arches on this that just stick out. Nice crisp lines mixed in there as well. They haven't shown the interior. Look, black interior on this. I high four-wheel drive. You get yourself 20-inch alloys on that. Cool light bar around the front there. That looks really kind of meaty. And you got nice LED graphics in the headlamps there. Plus your kind of beam lower daytime running lights. And let's just check out the back, which again does give off some Range Rover vibes, also Hyundai vibes. It's this kind of light bar that goes around the back there. Also looks a bit like an EX90, Volvo EX30. That's cool, especially with the black top on it. So yeah, they're not showing us the inside of that one yet. And sorry, they've also brought they've also brought a concept car over here. I haven't heard about this one. This is the One concept. Wow, that is nice. They're big on aerodynamics at GAC, and this one looks like it's very much inspired by aerodynamics. Got yourself a kind of a fake LiDAR unit up there on the top of the screen. There is an interior on this one, but we can't really see it. Check out the lights at the back. They're funky. Look at these silver blades across, and the lights are kind of in those gaps there. So that's a really nice looking concept. I hadn't seen that before, so I'm glad they brought us that one. Yeah, so that's GAC. So a big haul, this one. A lot of stuff going on. I think the UT looks like a pretty funky car. There's a big version of the S7, which does actually also have some kind of big EX90 vibes about it. It looks bold, looks strong, and I like it. Okay, next up, I said to our third to last haul for today. Okay, so now we're heading into Deepal. So Chengdu, the last motor show, the last big one, they launched the S05, which is this blue thing here. This is a pretty nice looking car. There's somebody in the front seat and somebody in the back seat as well. Quite a lot of legroom down there, where that fella is. Look through the window, you've got a screen that tilts either way. Let's close that. So that screen tilts left and right, as it does in the SL03. They also, of course, got the G318. A bit chunky, a bit more rugged. SL03, which is being launched in Australia now, alongside the S07, which comes in this cool lime colour as well as this cool orange colour. And this one, you might remember, has a screen up here in the sun visor. That's funky, isn't it? Not sure if you'll get that in foreign markets or not. And it's got a princess seat with leg raising, with a leg rest in there as well. So that's Deepal. Nothing new for them this time. Heading over to Chang'an. That's a pretty aggressive looking SUV. Pickup truck. Chang'an Hunter. I mean, check out the overbite on that. They're clearly not going for aerodynamics, are they? Chang'an Hunter. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that in international markets. And I'll see if I can find someone at Chang'an to tell them that. Qiyuan E07, of course. This is actually a very big car, this. It's kind of Cybertruck-esque. It feels in proportions, but I think the Cybertruck's a bit bigger than this. Just a very interesting car. I want to show you again, just in case this is your first video, first time you've watched our channel, you can check this out. There is a button to open the back. I want to see if this guy will do it. I'll tell you what, I'll show you over here instead. So here's another one. And you'll see, this is like a pickup truck. So the floor folds down here, and the glass panel slides up there, opening up this kind of pickup style space here. There's your controls to move your glass and put your tray down. You also got kind of like mounting points on either side, and you can put these rear seats down as well. You see, they've got one solid piece that can fold that rear bench down, give you a really long entrance into the back of the car. So the E07 is very cool. We haven't driven it yet, but we're certainly trying to get hold of one. Now Avatar, they've had a bit of a pickup in sales since the last time we saw them in Chengdu, inspired by the 07. See if I can find you a nice clear one to look at. There you go, there's the 07. Let me see if we can get ourselves into this green one here. Just pop our eyes inside. There we go. Just drop the camera in there. See the screen all around the back of the dashboard there, and a large screen in the middle. This one, of course, comes with the Huawei autonomous driving system and a LiDAR unit. Currently temporarily parking here on the stand, so it would seem. What do you think of that green, by the way? Green is the new black. in China. This is also an interesting colour. This kind of like faded custard metallic. See, it's kind of white to yellow. This one's got some different text on the halo panel over there. They seem to have some luxury versions up here. I'm not sure what these are. Let me see if I can get a closer look at these. They come with Meridian sound systems, so great speakers. They're brilliant. Oh, look at this. This is luxurious. The Royal Edition. Wow, look at that. Red and cream interior. This is the 1.2 that we've reviewed on the channel. There's your space in the back there. So the 1.2 is really nice. They've also got a Royal Edition 1.1 as well. This was our favourite car of last year, and a car that looks absolutely marvellous. Now the big thing for Avatar at this show is that they have launched their extended range electric version of the, I think the 1.1 and the 1.2. So I think they already have it with the 07. They've now got it for 1.1 and 1.2, and that is really going to help their sales because extended range electric vehicles are doing very well in China. And now you've got this amazing design with a very practical electric platform. We do have Best Tune at the show today. They seem to have a new car, but they've locked it in the box. So of course they've got the Best Tune Pony, this funky looking thing. That's cool, isn't it? Funny little city car. I mean, that looks like it's like a child's dream. But they've also got a new car, finally. Look at this, the 03. Now I haven't seen much about this one. These lights remind me of those on a Rising model. Let's have a quick look inside. Is this lady going to give us a chance to look inside? She's climbing out. Let's have a look in there. So this little kid's getting in as well. Got a big screen in the middle there. Don't close the door, mate, 1 second. Got a wireless charger in the middle. Looks fairly standard in there. Let's check the back seats. Reasonable amount of room. Smells interesting in here. Kind of leatherette style seats. This feels very much like an affordable brand. There's your lights on the back. It's not exactly cutting edge design, but it's fairly neat. Again, one of those brands that you're never quite sure how they survive, because you don't see many Best Tunes these days. Although I've seen a few more of this this pony in recent times. But that's Best Tune. Now over to Nissan. This is one of the 2 Nissan stands, I think. Oh no, this is one Nissan stand. Okay, so they've got a concept car here at Nissan, along with some very metallic coloured cars. And yesterday they had a lot of scantily dressed ladies on the stand as well, which does feel like a very old-fashioned way of trying to sell cars, but they need to. They did have the best-selling car in China last year. This year, definitely not the case. It was that one over there, the Sylphy. That was the best-selling car in China last year, petrol car. They may be hoping something like this, the N7, which they haven't shown the interior of, but they're kind of hoping the N7 is going to bring them back to relevance in China, as Car News China put it. And it's fairly neat in terms of style, and they did tease people into thinking it was a Li Auto, which is a bit of a trick. But yeah, it looks fairly interesting actually. Let's see if we can slide through these people on the stand. It will be an electric car, the N7. It's been developed with Japanese engineering and the Chinese technology. So the person told me yesterday, which is obviously quite important. Bit of a fastback style profile on it. Good proportions actually. Very, very simple overall in terms of design. Now here we go, this is great, look at this. Welcome back to auto shows, Baojun. Oh yeah. Wuling have made a recent appearance in Beijing. Now Baojun has made an appearance here on the SGMW stand. And yeah, this is cool, look at this. This is the Baojun Yep on the Tianyu platform. This is a 4-wheel intelligent drive motor platform. So look at this. These wheels, currently turned at 45 degrees, front and rear, allow this car to literally spin around on the spot. And if you want to see a video of that, check out the shorts on our channel, because we put them on there. You can also turn these wheels fully 90 degrees. So they can go this way, and the car can literally slide sideways into parking spaces. And of course, they can all point in the same direction, so you can drift across lanes diagonally as well. This is the second cheapest car brand in China. And even they have come out with a platform that can do this. 4-wheel drive. It's part of the Lynk lab. There you go, look at that. So I'm really excited about this. I would love to give it a go if they want to give us a go on it. That's one of the smallest cars. That is a sub 3.5 meter long electric car. That might change city driving forever. They brought some funny concepts. I'll show you these in a moment. This is the Neta S. We haven't driven this one yet either. This is a very affordable SUV. I don't think it's electric, but I'm not sure, actually. Got twin wireless chargers, actually, and they're vented as well. Didn't expect that. Is it an electric car? I'm going to check. It might be an electric car. I think it is actually electric. Hang on. Let's dive around the back. I really can't tell. And I've totally forgotten if it is electric or not. But that's the Neta S. It's got another name actually, but I can't remember. Zhuiguang S. Is that right? But yeah. This is the Wuling Starlight. We've shown you that in previous videos. Now look at this. This is an S with a big spongy cushion on it. That's fun, isn't it? Big soft doors. That's great if you don't have a car crash. You'll be fine. Now this one's covered in fluff. Check out the fluff on that. There you go. And they've done the whole interior in fluff as well. Even the doors, look at this. Fluffy doors and fluffy seats in there as well. Not really sure why they do that. Maybe to look cute, appeal to a certain demographic. And I'll see if there's any difference inside. Let's have a look. We can't get fully inside. This one looked a bit smaller actually. A bit more basic. You don't get a wireless charger in there. You only get 2 cup holders in the middle. Obviously you don't get 2 cup holders, but just 2 cup holders is what I mean. Plus a little tray at the bottom for storage, some switches under the small screen in the middle. So that one's not quite as luxurious. We've got almost the exact same car there. So yeah, that's Wuling in Belgium. Welcome back to auto shows. Now that they do bigger cars, it's really good to have them back. These are the 2 most affordable brands in China, pretty much. And yeah, with that Tian new platform, they're really developing. Right, 2 more halls to go. Now, unfortunately, we've got some really loud noise in this hall, but I've learned from previous shows that you can still hear me. So this is 4thing. That's a very imposing front end, that, isn't it? So they've got a big MPV, which we can get into, with triple screens across the dashboard, like the Voyah Dreamer, also from Dongfeng, used to have. Wireless charger, interesting kind of gear lever there, and probably some more controls on this bit here as well. Check out the back seats. It's an automatic door, it says, but it's not charged. So here you've got kind of captain's seats in the back. You've got screens in your armrests as well. Tray, table on the back of the seat there. No screen in the back of this one, and no fridge, but you do get a 220 volt plug, which means this is probably a hybrid. That audio is really loud over on the iCar stand, so I'm hoping that one disappears pretty quick. But check this out. Not a lot of interest in 4thing, I'm afraid. Even though they've got this. The very interesting S7, the most aerodynamic production car in the world. That's something like 0.187 drag coefficient, something like that. We showed you this one in Chengdu or Beijing. Seen a few of these around the show, but not so many in real life. And again, 4thing might be one of these brands that ends up getting enveloped back into the Dongfeng group. Now we've got more loud talking over here at MG. Here we've got the MG ES5. So Rising, which is next door, that's been brought into Rongwei, also has lights like this on the front, i.e. this kind of trapezoidal shape and then a pull down there at the side. So this is going to Europe. This is the new MG ES5. Let's get a closer look at the back of it if we can. There's the back of the ES5. Since this is going to be useful to you, I'll try and check the size of it. Electronic boot release, quite a lot of space in there. And look, they put a parcel shelf on, which they very rarely do. Tools in the back there. Alrighty, let's have a quick look inside as well. Large screen in the middle, a wireless charger down there at the bottom. Another screen here behind the driver. That looks like a pretty nice interior, that, on the MG ES5. What's the rear space like? Not bad in there as well. This is, of course, it might even be an electric car. Hang on. I haven't been doing my reading up on this one, so I'm going to check under the bonnet. Yeah, it's an electric car. No engine in there. There's your new electric MG SUV, ES5. And we need to move away from this stand now because it's really, really loud. They're doing a phone shaking competition to try and win some prizes. Very, very popular here in China to do that. There's your MG Cyberster, of course. Now let's head to Rongwei. So, I can't even hear myself speaking. The whole room is being an audible mess. That's the Rongwei D7, okay? What I want to show you though is the rising. There's your rising R7. There's your rising F7. This one we've driven. Now you see the point I was making about the MG. That's the styling of the MG with the slit daytime running light on top and this kind of crisp yet rounded pointy nose. So that's what you're going to get on the MG ES5. This will be rebadged as an MG in Europe. This one might also be as well, but we'll see about that. So yeah, previously Rongwei had a model line called Rising. Rising became its own brand, and because of very poor sales, they've now been brought back in to Rongwei. So they're kind of a separate brand, but also not really a separate brand anymore. And we got Maxus. They've got a pretty big van. I'll stand here because I can't fit it in if I get any closer. This one I think you've seen abroad, but it's done up as an RV. And you can see here, you can turn this front seat all the way around, like this fella is here. Got two big seats there, little kitchenette on the side. I've got hiccups now. And then if I can look in the back, looks like some extra storage in there, and maybe you can move it into beds as well. But yeah, Maxus also have a pickup truck over here. We seem far enough away from the music now, finally. Although we're going to go back to it very soon, I'm afraid. There you go, there's the Maxus. That's probably going to go to Australia if it's not there already. Now onto the Chery brands. So one of those is Jetour. This is the Shanghai Mountain Ocean T1. It's a little bit less dramatic than the T2, which is over here, a bit more aggressive, this one. Actually, it's not called the T2, that's got a different name completely. That's the Xinglao, I think I recognise those characters. L7, which I think was launched recently, earlier this year. There's also an L6 over there at the back. And the Shinda, I don't remember the last character on that one. Looks a bit underwheeled, that, doesn't it? Those wheels look a bit too small for those arches. Jetour actually do fairly well in places like Russia, I believe, and the stands, the country with a stand on the end. I don't know if these are wireless chargers or not. I think they just might be phone holders. They're not vented. It smells quite nice in there though. But that's a Chery. That's a Jetour. Anything of note on the Jetour stand? I don't believe so. There's a lady very lazily dragging a bag around with her. This purple one looks like it might be of interest, and it is, because this is the Exceed ET. So this one is electric and also an extended range electric car. It's the SUV in the Exceed Xlantics range. They're called Xlantics in foreign countries. See a lot of space in here, so they haven't really connected the dashboard down there, but you do get a wireless charger in the middle, big screen. You get AI in here as well. We were at the Chery event recently, also a princess chair in the front there. We were at a Chery event recently and I drove this and it was actually very slow acceleration for an electric car, although it was the extended range electric version. There is a full electric version as well. Of course, we've got the Exceed MPV E08 concept, which looks amazing, but isn't open today. And then we've got this, the Xlantics ES. Looks absolutely amazing in red. Look at that, that is a beautiful car. Big ass wheels on this one. What are we up to here? 21-inch wheels on those. Lovely alloys. We're going to be driving this one very soon, so I'm looking forward to that. Again, this one I think will also come with an extended range electric version. Right, now we're going to head to Chery, and it's going to get really, really loud. Unfortunately, because there's some really good cars to show you here. Some really interesting stuff. This is the full win A9. This is an upcoming saloon from Chery. The return of the full win brand. Looks really sleek. That's a good looking car. It's really nice. Lovely colour too. Right, now if you can still hear me, which I really hope you can. Look at this, by the way. This is the Chery 7, otherwise known as a J-Coup abroad. It looks a lot like a Land Rover, doesn't it? Now, I can't show you the big car I want to show you up close because they're doing this display, but let me zoom in on this one over here. This is a concept car that they've got. I'll zoom out a bit. So this one is kind of like a big wagon, big estate, funky lights on the front. It's fully a concept car at this point, but hopefully that's kind of the future of the brand and they're going to go somewhere like that because we need more estates in China. Now I'll try and avoid all this noise for you. Zoom back out again. I want to show you another really cool concept that I'm really, really hoping that they bring to fruition because this is really, really fun. The noise is so loud. It doesn't need to be so loud. But here it is. Look at this. So this is like an MPV but jacked up. It's like a modern day Delica. Mitsubishi Delica, if you remember that. Let's come around the side so I can show you the design of this. There's your interior, look at that. That's very funky, and those rear seats fold flat into basically like kind of a lounge style area. Looks like they've got like airless alloys, even though you don't have air in the alloys, but those front seats, they can slide all the way forwards, it seems, and all the way backwards. Got that cool table. Let me show you around the back of it. So the back is also really fun. There you go. Look at this. It looks like a kind of a Scandinavian pod. One of those places you can sleep. So you see the backrests are folded this way. You can fold them back so you can sit on that base cushion at the back, or you can just sleep in the car. And they've got a huge glass roof in there as well, so you can sit under the night sky and enjoy that. Now, this is another one of my favorite cars coming up now. This is the iCar V23. This secured 31,000 orders before 7 o'clock on the day that it was launched. And I think we can get a look inside from somebody else. But this is one of my favorite cars, full stop. It's brilliant. It's so funky, especially in orange. I love it in orange. It looks really, really good. And look, you've got an accessory here where you can literally stick a lamp on the dashboard, on the bonnet on the other side as well. No, you can't get inside. So I'm not gonna, this guy's filming, so I'm not gonna get in the background. But look at the wheels, check out the wheels. They're cool, and look how close they are to the front of the car. It's got really good entry and departure angles, this car. There you go, there's the back end. Looks really like a bit of a G-Wagon from the back. The seats fold perfectly flat, by the way, which is cool. You've also got a storage box here in the back door of the car as well, and a little bit, a very decent amount of space under the boot floor as well. Let me see if I can get one to look at from the inside, show you the dashboard, because you'll see how short it is. Look how short the dashboard is. It's literally about 15 centimeters deep at the biggest part. Now these guys, look at that screen there, you've got funky real physical switches down there, big screen in the middle, real dials, some up there on the roof as well. No panoramic roof on this one though. Funky vents, these are very cool, they look nice. But no glove box in there. Quite a lot of space in the back as well. There's a little girl, hello little girl. So yeah, you can see loads of space in the back. Very upright seating position in the back of the V23. So I can show you it in here. The door handles are very funky, look at these, fold those in. Look at the space in the back there, that's very cool. 4-seater only, this car, it's not a 5-seater. Nice little details like this one here on the back there with the graphic. And also up here, you can just about see there, iCar V23 graphic. This is a really, really fun car. Doesn't cost that much. Also these wheels, by the way, check those out. They're nice, aren't they? Really awesome. And this also comes with autonomous driving ability. Also the iCar 03 and the 03T. We're hoping to drive these at some point. We've driven this one off-road, but haven't really made a video about it. This seems to be a wider version, kind of more ventilation at the side here. This one comes with different grills for different countries. So it's in the Philippines as a G6, and it looks like we're going to have a, wow, okay, this is the cyberspace, or cyberspace. That's basically a V23 on steroids. That's nuts. I love that. Now Chery, iCar as well I should mention, also looking to make an SUV MPV, but a much smaller version. They showed that as the X25, I think it's called, at the Beijing Auto Show, so we're hoping we're going to see that one in future. But I really, really want to drive this one. Okay, final haul, here we go. Now I'm really hoping that I've got something cool to sign off on here, but I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you. A lot of people are going to drop off the video at this point, I'm pretty sure. I should have started here and finished somewhere else. But you've got your Lamborghinis over there. You've got your kitted out V-classes over here. You've got Kia, of course. They've brought the EV6. This one's got LiDAR units on all the corners up there. They've also got the EV5, which is finally going abroad. There's your EV5. Nothing particularly special about the EV5. Apart from the cool front seat, I do like that. But yeah, that's an electric car from Kia. They've also got the Seltos, which I didn't even know they sold, to be honest. I've said to be honest a few times. Someone pointed out in my last video, and they made a good point. I need to stop it. There's the Kia Seltos, very rarely seen. There's a Kia Sportage, I think. Again, very rarely seen. And an even more rarely seen Kia at the back over here, the K3. Literally never seen one of those in China, ever. I really hope they bring out more electric cars soon. Right, what I'm going to do, try and finish on something vaguely interesting. You've got Bentley, nothing new there. You've got Kurda, they do the modified cars as well. You've got Lorenza, who of course do absolutely hideous modified cars on there, mostly GLSs and V-Class, but they're not interesting. And then you've got the kind of a official Mercedes. I've got to show you this. This is awful. This is awful. So many different grills on these cars, and they really try their hardest to make them look as ugly as possible. Look at that. Oh man, what have they done to this poor van? Huge Mercedes grille on that one, looks like a Lexus. Another ugly grille on that one. How do these guys stay in business? I can tell you the audience for these is disappearing fast. They're going to need to find better cars to change. But anyway, right, that's a car sales platform, I think. Let's end on something vaguely interesting, which is the Lynk Co This is from Dongfeng Honda. So they do have electric cars. Whoop, the ladies wet the floor here. Great to make the floor so wet. That's what we want. Wet floors so people can fall over and break their legs. This is the S7. So it's a bit like the Yay P7 we saw earlier. Only this is Dongfeng Honda's version of that car. 21-inch wheels, they're pretty big. But this car still feels pretty high. It looks a little bit like a Geely Voyah or a GAC MQ at the back with that kind of hockey stick shaped C-pillar. I'm going to let this guy go in this car. I'm going to show you the other one on the other side. I think this is the same one. Oh, this is an ENS2. So let's show you this ENS2 again. Not the most attractive car in the world, but the door is open for us to slide in and see what an electric Honda looks like. At least this hall is a lot more quiet than the last one. It's a bit of a haven actually in here, but it does smell quite plasticky. Again, a lot of switches on your steering wheel, including toggles and rollers, which feels like quite a bit. A lot of warning signs on the dashboard there. That screen feels like about 14 inches, not a particularly large screen there. You've got a pocket, that's it, basically a little bit of finger space on there. Is there a glove box? I think there is. Yeah, tiny little glove box. A lot of hard plastic in here. And then look at this, really old-fashioned park, reverse, neutral and drive buttons, and a drive mode toggle as well. This just feels like it's ancient. It feels like it's so old. And then you got two cup holders that pop out at the back there. Bit of silver trim in there. Your seats don't look too exciting in terms of the overall style of those. You do get a digital, oh no, it's not, is it? Is that a digital rear view mirror? It is a digital rear view mirror, there you go. So you do get at least something that's vaguely modern in this car, and you get a sunroof as well. But look at that, just a half sunroof. It's a bit naff, isn't it? Bose sound system though, so maybe it's half decent. But yeah, there you go. That is your 2024 Guangzhou Motor Show. And yeah, a bit of a naff way to end that one really, with a few brands that are by this time next year might not even be here. I suspect they will be because they still sell quite a few cars in China, but you know, the odds are shortening, let's say, that they might even pull out at some point. But they've got some good JV alliances here, these guys with Dongfeng, others with GAC, others with SAIC, so maybe they've got a chance yet. The big problem for these brands, in my opinion, is the reputation. So the reputation is for reliable petrol cars, but they have no reputation for good infotainment, good technology, class-leading autonomous drive systems and things like that. And that's the thing that I think is actually going to affect both the Korean, the Japanese, and the German brands. Volkswagen, I think, might be in the most trouble, but they're going to keep trying because they've been committed to China for a long time, so they might do something with that. Then you've got your Mercedes, your BMWs, your Audis. They're still okay for now. They might even last longer than Volkswagen in China, but again, they don't have a reputation for making good electric cars, and I think that might cause them problems later down the line. Can brands like Kia and Hyundai save themselves in China? Well, Hyundai are trying. They're going to make some China-only models, and if they're going to make them, I would also suspect that Kia might try and do the same thing, given that they're kind of part of the same family. Then you've got your Japanese cars, and honestly, I think they're going to... You've seen brands like Mazda pull out of China already. Genesis are probably on the edge of pulling out. They're a Korean brand, of course. The question is, how many of these brands are going to be here next year? We might lose a few of the local brands. We might even lose some of the international brands as well. But if you want to stay in tune with everything going on in the Chinese car market, you can check out our website at www.insidechinaauto.com. You can, of course, check out our videos like this one on this channel. If you're in China, we are going to be on the Chinese channel soon as well. If you just like a bit of discourse, a bit of commentary about the Chinese car market, you can also find us on X. We might also end up on Blue Sky at some point soon as well. And we're on LinkedIn for slightly more professional stuff. So yeah, check out all of our social channels, whichever one works best for you. We're going to try and be in all the best places, all the places that you want to find us. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us for the 2024 Guangzhou Auto Show. For those of you who found the channel from the very first video that we did from this auto show, thank you for still being here. Really appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the journey. I assume you are if you're still here. But thank you very much for watching. If you do, thank you for subscribing. If you want to see more amazing cars coming out of China, keep watching videos like this one from the auto shows and the reviews that we do in China. And as ever, I'll catch you next time.